7:15 a.m. this Sunday morning, February 15th, 2026. And of course, we begin this morning with once again an orange striping of the so-called sunrise. We're supposed to be at a high of 46 degrees today, supposedly something like 4 or 5 degrees cooler than what we hit yesterday temperature-wise. Personally speaking, it certainly did not feel like no 50 degrees Fahrenheit here. But of course, with the melting of the snow, that creates quite a lot of coldness in the air, as well as cold humidity, if you will. So far, it appears as though we've got those clear blue skies. And of course, this is once again through the screen meshing of the bedroom window facing east. Currently the plans are that I will be traveling today to basically one of my old neighborhoods while I was a child growing up, in which I have recorded the past family home out in the country. But before we had even moved there, we had a family home, the first home that I remember, in the town of Otsego. Well, city of Otsego, if you please. Personally, I still consider it to be a town, but regardless, this is our sky conditions this morning. And I will, of course, be recording just that much more as this day continues on. 7:45 and continuing on. I have not been monitoring the skies since my previous recording. We are showing some deep coloration back here. Of that almost blood red and a little bit of pink coloration. But not only that, let's go drop this down just a little bit more. Apparently, this is also kicking off. Now, whether it has just begun, I don't like to state that anymore because of the factor that this type of activity is always occurring in some form or another. Yes. And we do have some other structures back in here. And it appears as though this might be catching a little bit of shine, causing a little bit of coloration to that. And in which direction this might be flowing, yeah, that is unknown at this time. Anyways, here right directly, I will be making my way out to the woods to tend to the cats. I have to actually kind of rush around this morning because at this given point in time, my travels have not been set for a definite time, but it will be occurring within the morning hours. Alright, so with that, we shall end this. Oh, okay, wow, alright, never mind. Yeah, they are already hitting us. I've just noticed this, and whether we can... No, I don't think we can capture any of this. Yeah, the angle of Okay, there's just a little bit of a, to the left of the screen, there's a little bit of a trail in which there is actually two very, very lengthy trails that are towards the north. And again, yeah, very difficult to pick this up because of the angle. So, yeah, I might just go ahead and record just a little bit more once I step outside and head out to the feeding ground. Yippee skippy. Okay. We will return at some given point. Alright, we are back at 7:55 a.m. You can see here that, yeah, it got rather cold overnight, as once again we got frost on the cars out here. It is only in the 20s right now. But back here are the remnants of those trails that I was speaking of just minutes ago, if you will. So, but these were trails that went all the way across the sky. And yeah, we've got some cloud structures up here, so-called cloud structures, which apparently has just come about. And looking over in this direction, we can go ahead and zoom in back here and see the colorations, which is pinkish, and it appears as though we might even have some fog back there in the background. We got the crows cawing already this morning, and we will continue on momentarily. Of course, already being greeted by my lady and Muggsy and Xerox in the background there. Are you ready, girl? Yeah? Okay. Yep, now, let's go. Okay, yeah. Yep. Okay, and real quick, there's our sunrise, which seems to have moved locations rather quickly as far as the positioning of the so-called rising. And yeah, okay, all right, I'm making it quick. And here's a little bit more of an example of the trail action, as well as, oh man, trying to make this quick. Yeah, which are going to attack the food. But we got another trail off in the background. I can't zoom in because my hands are full. But there's another one beyond the trees back here. So I'm going to go ahead and get these guys taken care of, because I gotta kind of rush around in order to get today's events underway. And we will continue on once again at some given point. Alrighty, 8 a.m. and here we go. Yep, already, huh? And which we got another one down here. This is the remains of a couple back in here. Yep. Blue jays are moving in. Doing quite a little bit of talking up here. Just show this real quick. Go from one type of winged entity to another type of winged entity. You hear them? Yeah, they're doing their talking up here. So Yeah, okay, we can't get all fixated on the Blue Jays this morning, because we are limited with our time. Okay, so, wow, look at this. Look at this. See, this is what I was talking about. Boy, he's pouring it on. And I don't care, you know, temperatures, you know, water vapor and all that. No, when you got activity like this kicking off, see this? I mean, we got one after another. This one here is moving through as we speak. And lo and behold, he is fizzling out with his trail. If we can see that, it might be just appearing as a small dot, but right there's that trail. And as stated, okay, back here behind the trees, we've got evidence of just that much more. And I'm hearing just that many more that's coming around for this morning's operations. But man, this is a doozy here, and he is still continuing on. In the background here, yeah, man, I can't even. And this stuff here is already starting to spread out. There we go, got a little better lighting there, I guess, I don't know. This camera is being very, very fickle anymore. See that? See how it changes? And I'm not doing that manually either. But yeah, we continue all the way across. Look at this, and he's still going. So definitely treating the sky as stated. And I've got, oh, well, Mamba Girl. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Yep, got more of the past clan that is starting to come about. Wow, he is like way back here and still spraying strong. Yeah, well, we're just going to go ahead because, you know, these other entities such as YouTube, Google, Wikipedia, Encyclopedia Britannica, yeah, we got to destroy those nonsense, false narratives that they like to provide within their little banners and through the search engines and all that, you know. This is the reality right here. And this is, you know, yes, definite operations. Okay, there's no two ways about it. And they can go ahead and keep lying all that they want, and, you know, that's fine. I will continue to provide, but yeah, they are whiting out the skies. Of course, you know, that could change throughout the day. But they are, you know, treating the sky somehow through these operations. I gotta end this and continue doing what I gotta do to get around all the way across and way back here. And they say this stuff does not happen. It's all conspiracy theory. Yeah. You know, the only conspiracy, which means an evil plot, is those that are directly linked to this and willing to provide false narratives, misinformation, if not disinformation. We know better, don't we? 9:05 a.m. this Sunday morning, February 15th, 2026. I was just sent a text stating the time of arrival. And this is actually a past neighbor that I will be visiting with today. And once again, from the second childhood home, if you will, in which he had contacted me a couple of days ago to inform me that the first childhood home, as stated, being in Otsego, Michigan, was just demolished, which I have to say was a needful thing. Whether or not we will actually take a ride to see the now vacant lot is unknown. Furthermore, I would ask you that you just play along and bear with me, as the last few nights I have had issues with sleep, and therefore it causes a lot of mental issues, if you will. And the reason why I am recording right now is because we just had our first circle jerk flyover of this day. I was not able to capture it as I was still in the process of getting around, actually throwing on my shoes. We are already beginning some of the melting process out here, as apparently temperatures are slowly on the rise. And I am basing this on the stuff behind me, which is not being hit by the sun. Well, okay, I guess maybe it is, but we are slowly beginning to melt, if you will. So maybe that is due to the shine factor. I'm not sure. But anyways, this is more evidence of, the continuation of operations. And, well, rather milky out here. A lot of reflective material in the air. And this is, well, kind of moving northward, it appears. And, well, still not able to really view the sunlight unless I lean way over the balcony here and dim down the lighting. And, yeah, we got a little bit of it showing there. And once I step down to the front of the apartment complex, I might just do another real quick recording. But once again, please bear in mind that I'm not completely with it, and I have not been for a couple of days now. Okay, so on that note, well, wow. We got, oh, stupid camera. We do have quite a few birds out here at the base of the feeding tree. And I put some seed out there this morning. Well, of course, you already know that because of the arrival of the blue jays that are recorded. A lot of cat movement in the background. And we got Batsy over here. Well, he just heard me. So anyways, before this recording gets rather lengthy, I guess I had better end this. Wow, we've got quite the get together back here with the feline kind. And of course they are pairing up or pairing off due to the mating season, which apparently that has already begun, possibly weeks ago. But I'll leave it at that. So, oh, just had the mourning dove fly up here. Just flew up, looking down upon me and looking around. And as far as other observations that actually occurred yesterday, which I did not get an opportunity to record, there's been motorcycles out and about already this year. But then I remember some times in the past to where I was still riding my motorcycle in February, as that was basically the only type of transportation I had at that time period in my life. And this is you know what happens when I get a lack of sleep. I become the rambling man. I just cannot stop talking. And yeah, this is blowing in the north direct, or yeah, it is blowing north. And possibly a little bit east. Okay, I'm going to have to end this now, and we'll continue later. 9:30 a.m. Okay, we will be swinging around so we get a better viewing of my first remembered childhood home here in Otsego, Michigan. I was going to do a little bit further recording as we were headed into town, as the trailing, of course, continues on. It appears as though there's quite a little bit of foggy conditions, and this is one of the factories here in Otsego, which used to be known as Menasha, and now I believe it's graphic packaging. Is that
Otsego paper?
Okay, Otsego paper. And so we are turning down. This is known as Helen Avenue, in which many of my relatives lived on this road back in the day. And yeah,
That's gone.
and there's been a great many changes, and I have not been down here in years now. We got a little bit of a power station back there. I didn't get that, and I don't want to get the driver in the picture here. And we'll show you a couple of things real quick. Okay, so this is the lot where our original family home was, and of course we're still under excavation here. And this place right here once used to be a store. It was a store for the longest time, and it was actually owned by my Aunt Catherine, and it was named Warner's Market. This here is Northside Park, in which made our news pertaining to arson, to where somebody had actually set fire to one of the playground sets, if you will. I could bring up many stories of my childhood journeys, and I could tell a lot of stories in regards to my childhood in relation to this town. Okay, this is the Kalamazoo River, in which I spent a lot of time down along the banks of the Kalamazoo River, as well as underneath the bridge that crosses over. And just like most all communities, this city has gone through a great many changes over the years. Church. This is the church that my family attended, other than my dad, but my mom, brother, and I attended that church, as well as my grandmother, my mom's mother. This is M89 that we are traveling down. And coming up over on the left-hand side is another location that I spent a lot of childhood time, especially with my mother, because we used to walk up here. There used to be a laundromat right here next to this store, Brookside Market. But right back in here is Brookside Park. And yeah, a lot of memories with that park. And where this car lot sits, there actually used to be church services, outside church services held through that same church that we attended. Here is one of the community graveyards. This is the place that my mom last resided at, an assisted care facility. I don't want to record that much more because the driver, aka my past neighbor from our second home out in the country, well, we've got some catching up to do. But I'll go ahead and show just one more thing. This is our local Walmart. Not sure how well any of this is coming out because of the glare situation and recording through the windows. There's the water tower for Otsego Township. And in this direction, we actually are headed towards the city known as Plainwell, as well as US 131, which I have shown that in previous recordings. Alrighty, we stopped next to a gas station, as my neighbor had to go in and pick up a couple things, but we got one line over here, as well as one directly in front of it. They are busy beavers today, let me tell you what. And yeah, there's a semi right here. Big old Kenworth semi. Well, there we have it. Otherwise, yeah, got some cloudy conditions back in here, but so-called clear blue skies otherwise. Okay, continuing on, he had to go in and pick some things up from this Harding's Friendly Market, which used to be under a different name. And back here, for those that have the sweet tooth, this is a Sweetwater's Donut Mill. And looking around, there's not really too much to see as far as the sky. We do have some yuck stuff back here, as you can see, but oh, there we go. I knew it wouldn't be long and we would see some more action, as it just never stops, you know. And it's not just my location, okay? This is going on all over the place here in Michigan, as far as I know. And more than likely we cannot pick up this. Let's see, get back here by these power lines, and we have no seam back here, and now I'm not even seeing it. No, barely, but no trail whatsoever. Okay, and yeah, I don't know if we are picking that up at all, but it's just, yeah, one of those white dots once again. Across the street here, where all these vehicles are, I'm not sure what that is anymore, but it was a laundromat, and a past girlfriend and I, we used to come here to do our laundry because we did not have laundry appliances ourselves. And once again, I'm not sure if it's still a laundromat or not. Alright, we are at the intersection of downtown Plainwell here. Plainwell is also known as the Island City because basically it is surrounded by water in some form or another. A lot of history to both of the locations as far as Otsego and Plainwell. And yeah, this is the street right here that my brother lives on. We are currently out cruising around on a four-wheel drive golf cart, and we had some deer back here. We just might end up seeing some more. Oh, there's, yeah, I think some deer back in here. Kind of hard to see back through these trees, but there's deer standing back there. Don't worry, I won't get you in the shot. Yeah, we got a deer that's laying down back here. Well, that's a nice one. Now we can't stop right now because, yeah, hopefully I got that deer. This is so cool. Now we got squirrels running around out here. I don't know if I got it or not. No. Oh, the hawk that just flew off back in here. Got some deer running back here. We were able to capture them. But we've stopped right here as this cross is a memorial marker of where we spread my mom's ashes after she had passed away and was cremated. Right there. Uh-oh, we got a Sasquatch crossing. Okay, let's see if I can capture this goober here. So much glare. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm getting this or not. I can't, okay. Anyways, about a half hour or so, give or take, we actually had a circle jerker fly right over us. And, well, I'll just go ahead and leave it at that. Alrighty, we are back. The current time is 1:20 p.m. on this Sunday afternoon, February 15th, 2026. Oh yeah, the sounds of jet aircraft are still looming overhead, and there has been a great deal of sky activities today. I apologize for the last recorded clip. I don't know if I had my phone upside down and that's why it recorded in that vertical mode. Where in the heck is he? Well, it's a nice rumbler, but throughout the travels that we partook today, it was activity everywhere that I could see, basically. And yeah, I would have liked to have gotten that circle jerker that flew right over us while we were out there at his place. I did not record any of where we lived next door to my neighbor, as I have content pursuant to that and in the past history of this channel. It's a fun time. We plan on connecting a little bit more. It's been years since I had actually spent time with him, and it was good to reunite with his wife once again, which I have not seen her in many years. And we have future plans as far as my neighbor is concerned. Basically, he took over his dad's house, his mom and dad's house, after they had passed away. Quite a lot of property out there, as you've seen a little bit of that while we were out and about on his four-wheel drive. I don't want to say golf cart, but we'll just use that as a loose description. I don't know how much more I will record today, if anything, because lack of sleep. I am just so burnt out. It's unreal, to where I can't even basically think straight. But we are focused in on Foxy Squirrel, with a cat not too far away. It was good to get out and about, believe you me, especially to go by some of my old haunts. Brought back a lot of nostalgia as far as memories. It was good. And yeah, I'm hearing once again another jet aircraft, but not seeing anything. I'm kind of halfway expecting to hear a circle jerker fly over at any time, because it is possible that I am being monitored. Okay, here we go. I knew it wouldn't be long and we could focus in on yet another flyover. Oh, he just disappeared. That one just flat out disappeared. Well, it's been a while since that's occurred. I can still hear some rumbling. Wow, that one literally just vanished. Oh yeah, may wonders never cease. So this is a very lengthy video because I decided, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and basically create like a movie from start to finish, from today's first recordings and to this point. Wow, still rumbling. But this is our sky conditions currently. So with all this being said and seen and blah blah blah, yakety schmackety, we shall go ahead and end this recording. And once again, if I record anything further today, well, you'll be first to know. For whomever might be viewing. But take care, have a great one. Thanks for coming along on the ride. It is greatly appreciated. Maybe we'll bump into one another once again back here on this flip side of reality. Have a great one. This is Skywise out.